I had an entire intro ready for tonight, but I guess 30 minutes of being offline will be good enough for me. Welcome everyone to the ProPokeBowl Season 5, Week number 9. My name is ProPokeBowl. Thank you very much for joining me. We have 3 more exciting matches for you tonight. We only have 6 matches in total left throughout the entire ProPokeBowl season, but before we get started tonight, I'd like to thank everybody for all their support in the past 2 weeks, everything that's been going on in terms of real life with the unfortunate deaths in my family and all the such and all the stress that's been coming with it. Thank you very much for sticking in there and, you know, letting me take my space, take my rest. I think it's time to get back in because we have a couple of things we got to talk about tonight. But let's start off with a little bit of ProPokeBowl, do some extra advertising for an Extra Life event later on. All I will do is drop you a link to the Extra Life 2019 page here on twitch.tv/ProPokeNoob, or myself, Team Pocket Aces, Snowbear22, Phantasy Star, Zonic, Raspberry Blitz, Fedora Gaming, Amagama specifically. I forgot Jet Punch, there we go. All of us will be doing some charity work for you. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's take a look at the standings, though. We've been here for way too long without any action. What do we got for ourselves tonight? The points have been getting spicy. As the Fortnite Ninjas were delivered their first loss, they are going to be sitting in first place still with 22 points. Second place, Diverse City Thunderous with 20. Third place, Manchester Manetric have fallen down just a little bit, whereas I Am Groot is continuing to climb and being a sole proprietor of 4th seed. 5th place is the place to look, as that will be broken today, as all 3 coaches, Golden State Ninjas, Lunar Crescelius, and Ice Cold, will be fighting to get themselves comfortably into top 6. With Ice, or that's it, actually, yeah, Las Vegas Golden Lucarios done the season sitting in that last position. They will have 0 chance of being able to enter the playoffs, but nonetheless, it was a great run. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I'm so tired from everything that's been going on. I've actually forgotten where we are. I forgot what happened in Week 8. We're just going to take tonight, make it nice and relaxed. We're going to get into those 3 awesome matches. Those matches will be the Manchester Manetric versus the Fortnite Ninjas. Second match of the night will be the feature match between Lunar Crescelius and Golden State Ninjas. Literally 2 5th place teams trying to battle out, try and make themselves separate from the pack, trying to scrounge their way into the last season of the playoffs. And then ending off the night with Diverse City Thunderous versus Ice Cold, an important match for both of them, as Ice Cold needs those points. Diverse City Thunderous now sees first place in reach, and if any more points are taken away from Mitchie W, he might be able to snag away that first position. But for now, let's get into that first match of the night. We're going to take a look at the battle between Manchester Manetric and the Fortnite Ninjas. Ivan versus Mitchie. What happens between these two? I don't remember. All I know is that it's an important match for Ivan. He's got to show himself he's still a top contender in this tournament, because really, it has looked fine for him, but I still get concerned as we see more and more teams starting to do more trades, starting to get a little bit stronger. It's going to become more of a, he is a team that is sitting with his 12, and he is the most comfortable with that. He's the only team now, I believe, that has actually done no trades, so losing his Aloma Mola tonight, we're going to have to see what goes on. Fortnite Ninjas have a plethora of options for them to go offensively and try and take down Ivan. And taking away that defensive option, once we see a defensive core on the side of the Manchester Manetric fall, it gets really tough for them to be able to get anything done, because he does try and manage all the stuff through that type of pressure. So, you know, taking away Latias is one thing, but losing your defensive core, we've seen Mitch do much more with all of his different Pokemon. You can even take a look at the usage statistics. 100%, just because he's been winning, you could just look at his record with only dropping a single game. You have to be afraid of what this man can do when it comes to battle time. 14 out of 15 wins is pretty, 13 out of 14 wins, I can math, is pretty impressive. No, that's 15 out of 16 matches. But he actually only played 12. He played 11, so it's 11 out of 12. Nonetheless, he's really good, and his team is looking really great. And there's still another week, and then the pre-playoffs week for him to make trades to try and adjust his team to go towards what he needs for the playoffs once he sees the top 6. And tonight will probably be that deciding factor, because we're going to see a lot of points become disparaged, and then you start getting more of that information. And specifically, since he's going to be sitting in top 2 most likely, he has a lot of information, but first he's going to be looking at Manchester Manetric. What is Manchester Manetric's options? Their offense has been okay when he's been able to pivot with the defensive walls. He's been great, but let's see if he can find a way to try and get that more offensive pivot off against Mitch. Still has access to great Pokemon. Actually kind of surprised the Kyurem Black, even though the fact has been mostly banned. it hasn't been doing much. It had a couple of great games in general, but really, it's the star of the show, which is the Pokemon that is going to be heavily destroyed by Fortnite Ninjas, has been the Necrozma. The Necrozma has been giving a lot of teams problems, and you can't do the same thing here tonight. You've got yourselves the likes of anything carrying knockoff, really. Bulu does carry that Mega Horn. The Gengar is going to punch it down once it loses a bit of HP, and I don't think Mitchie's going to give Ivan enough time to get those Moonlights off, to get all that healing off. He's not going to stay in on Photon Geysers when it's going to be doing too much damage. I feel like this should be a Mitch-favored matchup, considering that his setup potential against the likes of the Manchester matchup should be solid. Absol, Kieran Black, Conkeldurr destroys both these Pokemon just by using priority, and if he gets that Flame Orb boost up, as we've been seeing used to great effectiveness, it's just going to mean trouble for Ivan. So this is going to be an uphill battle for Ivan. On top of that, there is a lot of history between these two coaches, two of the more veteran coaches in Pro Pokeball history. They've had a lot of matches together. It has been heavily, if not, I think completely Mitch-favored every single time. There just seems to be some kind of mental play that goes when Mitchie versus Ivan go up against each other, because we've always said that despite the fact that, you know, we see Ivan as a mid-tier player, his results always show otherwise. Top 4, top 2, he's been pulling out really great results, but now this is that step where they have to go above. He has to go above and beyond to beat Mitch, and this would be a proving night for him if he's actually to take down Mitchie is a big deal for Ivan. So we're hoping to see some good matches, even if it goes 2-0 in either direction. I just really, really, really hope that it's going to be a good match nonetheless, because, you know, it's always good to see people who have been in the Pro Pokeball for quite a long time and just kind of have that history, no matter how one-sided it is. It's good. It's not even I wouldn't say a rivalry. It's just really fun to watch two people who have a lot of knowledge about how the Pro Pokeball works duke it out, and then you kind of see this type of thing. Is he not here yet? He's supposed to be. Where is this man? Holy cow, the chat room is booming. Let me see where he is. I did ping him, but he could be running late from work again. What's the timer at? We're good. Where's Ivan? Come on, Ivan. He didn't tell me anything that would keep, Give him a second to answer here. I know he has work, and I kind of took that risk of putting him first. So let me see what's going on with that. It usually shows up after I give him a ping, but I mean, in the meantime, let's actually. Why did my timer stop? Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa, computer. Oh, you know why? I know why it stopped. Because my computer is not on high performance. There we go. I know. He could have very well forgotten about it. Let's give him another minute. If he doesn't answer in, like... Let's see. The first match should be done by now. Yeah. If it doesn't answer in 5 minutes, we do have to move on, because time commitment is extremely important. In the meantime, let's advertise Extra Life first. I was kind of hoping we didn't have to advertise this right away, but hey, what the heck? Let's do it. And you guys are gonna watch me advertise the Extra Life at the same time as advertising Extra Life. Here you go, chat. We have launched Extra Life 2019. We will be starting this Saturday with Snowbear and I doing a bunch of randomizer races. There will be a schedule and an official advertisement put out. Thank you to Boss, who is building the posters for this event. They look phenomenal. I started and I looked at it, I'm like, yep, this sucks. So he has improved and made it look really great. 4th year, though, raising money for Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, Canada. You guys know that with all the work that I do with children, the number one thing that I'm always looking for everyone to have an opportunity to do is to have the chance to be able to live a normal life, or the best life that they can. And one thing that was always important to me as a child was gaming, and was having access to good friends, good company, and just having a really solid family. And I like to think that any amount of support, no matter how small or big of a streamer you are, is always helpful. And to give these kids an opportunity to be able to live a life that we all sometimes take for granted, whether we think about it or not. We have such a wonderful life, and these kids deserve it too. So We are going to be raising 4th year in a row for that. We will have incentives. You could go take a look at the page right now. You do exclamation EL. You can get yourself onto this page. All you got to do is click the big green button. You donate your own amount. We do have both Canadian and American currency for both. North American. For people who are outside of North America, I highly suggest you go through the American way because Canada's a little bit more expensive. Yeah. So... yeah, pretty much. It's looking really good, though. I wrote this out this year, personalized it, and we will have incentives for you guys in a future link. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. Yeah. I love this image. This is my favorite image I ever made with my face with the 1-up mushroom. It's great. We are the 1-uppers. We will be, like I said, we're going to be streaming with a bunch of different people, so. Canada doesn't disappoint. We're just really bad at values. You can take a quick look at the schedule here, but yeah, everything will be easy for you guys to follow. Tons of incentives for you to donate towards this year as well, so you'll have great ways to be able to influence all of the content. Just to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing, a bunch of races, but it's actually mostly speedrunning. I didn't realize that, but essentially, yeah, it was a bunch of speedrunning. Fedora and I are going to be looking into multi-world. We're going to be doing our first ever Stardew Valley speedrun with Raz. Gamma and I are going to be doing a bunch of Pokemon battles. We're going to introduce Showdown Tennis. What else do we got here? Points Lock in a Gen 6 format with Fantasy. Battleship Bingo with Snow Bear. There's going to be a lot of things we're going to be doing. So, yeah. It's going to be great. Alright, Ivan, come on, man. Showdown Tennis, Tyler. Yes, it's a best of 7 of a best of 7. It'll be easier to explain. It'll be easier to explain on the day. Well, the problem is, Anish, I put out the schedule a week ago, so he had to tell me if it wasn't going to work. So this will be a forfeit situation for Ivan. It's just the way it has to be, because we're already behind on schedule, and he wouldn't be here earlier either, and we can't wait around anymore. Like I said, you guys have, like mistakes happen and things like that. Unfortunately, the essence of an online tournament is, yes, I have been gone for a couple of weeks, so it has been a little bit silent, but there is a pattern that I've tried to make as easy as possible for everybody. And if you have a bad day and you forget, it happens, right? There's no hate against the coaches or anything like that. I don't worry per se. You know, there's no strike that happens if you miss your match. Obviously, you can't forfeit or not show up for more than 20% of the total tournaments. So he has been here for all of his other matches. This would be the first time he hasn't been here. There was one time where he let me know late that he was going to be late, but this is yeah, there you go, the forfeit night ninjas. That would be a big deal though if he just gets the free 2-0. It's he hasn't even, let me see. Yeah, he hasn't even put in his sign in. I gave that at 6. So if that's not a reminder and if he is at work, I can't help that, you know, for 2 weeks I've had the list up, but we go from there. The other thing is, he hasn't given me any, he told me that there would be no time. Like, if there was a time restriction, I had to make the matches this way. He did put up his PokePaste, which is kind of a shame. Let's see here. Yep. can't pick on a guy who's already kicked out of the tournament. God. Hey, perfect, Survivor. We're just waiting on somebody who's potentially getting forfeited. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on, guys. Let's actually go on to the Traverse City Thunders versus Ice Cold. Let's get Shark King and Anish going because I need to give time for people to do the betting because I don't like doing it while we're here. But all right. Sadly, it is gonna be a 2-0 forfeit for it. Manchester Manetric will have a forfeit on the record. If they miss another week, they will be officially... Actually, no, they can miss up to 20%. It's more than 20%. So he can't be kicked out. Wherever he is, he'll be there. But he is not going to have any chance to get those points, which means for Traverse City Thunderous tonight, they're going to have to do a little bit more work to have to try and get to that first place. It's looking bleak with that unfortunate free 2-0. We can't really talk about that. What we do need to talk about, though, is in this match between Traverse City Thunderous and Ice Cold, Traverse City Thunderous getting the prize pig of all coach trades, Las Vegas Golden Lucario saying, hey, you're a good friend, I think, and I really want revenge. Take my Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini has joined the Traverse City Thunderous on a playoffs team. This is going to be terrifying. I don't know how much this does for the likes of Sharkin, considering he's got so many water types already, but it's another fairy type, and on top of that, Tapu Fini's just really good. I could see this replacing Starmie, actually, because Starmie was a spinner, Serena's also a spinner, but now you have a defogger in Tapu Fini. You prevent status, which is going to be really good for his setup sweeping, but I would argue that if this was going to be a worrisome match, I wouldn't worry about the status, I'd worry about the sheer power that Ice Cold brings, considering that, well... Got him. Considering that he's basically straight out offense. We've seen this team has been a very impressive team thus far. Don't look at the usage statistics. Don't look at the number of points he has. To make this work in this tournament has been tough for Anish, but he has been picking up a bunch of Pokemon. Picked up that Comfey back in week 8. We're still waiting to see when that is going to come out. But really, this is going to become a matter of who's going to be setting up better. I think this is like the true aggressive test to see, will Shark King find the proper time and set up before the Trick Room gets too comfortable, or will Anish be able to actually set up the Trick Room and just kind of prevent these types of sweeps? I'm curious if Thunderous will build their team to be more, to be less about something like a Dragon Dance or things like that and actually bring just more straight offense. I don't think so. He has lost to Volcarona, while Ice Cold has rightfully so lost the Mawile. Stop letting Mawile do things. It's just too much to build around. In the 2 games that it's won, it's smashed, right? Yeah, people adapt to it, but Mawile is just such a free Pokemon here for a niche, and it just fits perfectly into a Trick Room team. But, I mean, over time, yes, the Trick Room is there, but if you take a look at the Pokemon, yes, some of these still work in Trick Room. But with the Heatran being added to Icy Anishi, with the Comfey being added, he is building himself a fairly good defensive core, which means he doesn't have to always play Trick Room. There's still some Pokemon here. Mega Slowbro could be a giant threat. It isn't the strongest unless he's using something along the lines like Choice Scarf Hydreigon or Offensive Heatranners, things like this. But there is a lot of play here for Anish, and I think that's what he's been really building in the late parts of this season. Considering that Trick Room isn't always going to work. There's a lot of teams that will just shut down the Trick Room or don't care about the Trick Room because they have such great switches. Think back to the likes of the match against the Fortnite Ninjas. Think back to the likes of... Have you played Ivan yet? Did you play Ivan? I think you played Ivan. I'm trying to remember. There were a couple of defensive teams where just the... Oh, actually, it was Lunar Cresselia's, where despite the 1-1, if the damage wasn't there, and then once Trick Room runs out, if you're just put under too much pressure, he doesn't get anything done. So that's partially why that match went so poorly between Ice Cold and Lunar Cresselia's. Is game 2, of course there was that big mistake, but you gotta think back into the Incineroar. You gotta think about these Pokemon that were just stopping him from being able to get his damage out. Can Traverse City Thunderous do that tonight? I give him the credit. I don't think it's impossible, and we're gonna have to get into the match to take a look at this because I want to watch Pokemon. It's been so long, and I'm so out of practice. But who cares, because we have matches tonight. Second last week of ProPokeBowl. Bring the hype, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to be getting into game number 1 between Traverse City Thunderous and Ice Cold. Traverse City Thunderous on the far side, Ice Cold on the close side. Let's take a look at the teams. We do see Hydreigon, and we do see hello Comfey, and we're taking a look. There is that glorious Tapu Fini, and you gotta look at that defensive core. That is just Aggron and Tapu Fini. That already sounds difficult to get through in general. And we don't see Crabominable being used, so the Moltres now is an interesting choice here. Maybe trying to bring this for the likes of... don't actually know, but I don't see Moltres getting much value against this team at all. You don't even want to stand out there against the Alola. I don't even think behind Aurora Veil, Moltres will kill that thing off. But it will be the Ferrothorn leading off against the Serena. Serena has the jump kick, but you don't want to be risking taking all that damage from it. But the knockoff will come through just to start things off, as the Rocky Helmet will get the one and only tick of this match. The Thunder Wave does come through. Okay, so it is a defensive. Serena, which means you don't need to worry about this thing being Choice Scarf being neutralized. I don't think he would have actually gone for knockoff if it was Scarfed. He would be worried too much about the damage. The U-turn will come in. He will be taking Rocky. It will be taking Iron Barb's damage. It is sometimes difficult to imagine why you would want to go for U-turn, especially when you're going to be taking that additional damage, but I don't think it's going to be mattering too much, as the Aggron will come in on the Gyro Ball. We'll be getting a free Mega up. Potentially, actually, this could be a choice banned one if you wanted to run it, but I think being as defensive as you can will be the way to go, because the Gyarados is you're trying to go for it. The low kick, never mind, I was right, that is an offensive Aggron, as that might be choice banned low kick that will take the Ferrothorn out. That thing got next to nothing except crippling a defensive wall, as Feeny will come in, and the Sunny Day is set up. Okay. This is Sunny Day Solar Beam, and Feeny does not want to stand here. He actually over-predicts, though. Goes for the Flamethrower, as the Nature's Madness will be used. It is the special fairy-type version of Super Fang, for those who don't know. But the Flamethrower coming through, Alolan Ninetales will just switch up that weather, and he goes for the Solar Beam! You can't suck the light out of the Ice Crystals, Anish, and now Aurora Veil is free for Traverse City Thundurus. A bit of an oversight there, but I think it was also a bit of an over-prediction, going for that Flamethrower. Because even in the sun, Alolan Ninetales doesn't need to come in. Feeny does not care about the damage, because at this point, Feeny still soaks up damage from the likes, no matter what, unless he's got something that we don't know about it. But he could be absorbing the damage with the, what's it called? Feeny absorbs the damage. Alolan Ninetales doesn't care as long as he gets the stuff set up, because it is faster than the Moltres. So there is no loss there for Traverse City Thundurus. Yeah, it takes damage, but it's not going to die. And then on top of that, a lot of learning in this game one for Icy Anishi. 6-4, barely any damage done to Traverse City Thundurus. A bit of status here and there, but that's going to be the last of what you're going to be seeing from those two Pokemon. So now, what is the answer? What is the win condition here for Anish? We have seen both the Blizzard and the Aurora Veil. Freeze Dry could be run on this Alolan Ninetales. So Slowbro's still not feeling the safest yet until it starts getting some Calm Minds up, if it is actually a Calm Mind Mega Slowbro. Taking his time to try and set this up. We'll have to see. Hydreigon is going to make its way in. Moonblast will hurt. And Focus Blast, even if it hits, I mean, he's most likely just maybe going to try and go for Defog here to get rid of the Aurora Veil. But it will be in exchange for the likes of... Is he worried about like a... Yeah, it will just be Defog. Okay, interesting that the Feeny does come in when that could have been a really deadly Blizzard flying out, but I guess Feeny just comes in, will go for the Moonblast, as the Comfey will absorb that. But you can't status this thing as long as Misty Train exists. Now the Aggron will make its time in, and Z-Power, use Z Sunny Day. He is really investing into this Sunny Day team of sorts. But what will Z Sunny Day do for Comfey? Yes, it gives it speed. And yeah, it's got some damage. Okay, growth used, but Head Smash says hi. He's not going to go through the hoop. He's going to wear it like you shouldn't be wearing the animals. But nonetheless, Bug Buzz will happen, and that's going to destroy it. That is most likely, well, we didn't see Speed Boost, so that will be Specs Tinted Lens. But it wasn't also Mega Aggron, so it is most likely just going to kill it on that special side. But now the Alolan Ninetales comes in, ends the sun once again. The growth is an interesting concept coming out here from Comfey, but the problem is there's just so many Pokemon that will be outspeeding, will be just taking stuff out. The Alolan Ninetales is faster, the Slowbro will come in, maybe check for Freeze Dry. I don't think you have to worry though, because even then it is there, but the point being, yeah, Calm Mind can save you. A crit would be a kick in the pants, but, you know, if you don't get burned, you have sub on that Gyarados, and he's just saying, yeah, I most likely have it, actually. Slack Off will come in, but if that's sub Gyarados, you're not breaking that sub until you get more setups, and Crunch is going to start hurting. The taunt actually happens from, ooh, taunt Gyarados, we haven't seen that in a while. Now Dragon Dance will come through. This could even be carrying a, what's it called? A Lumberry, because we're not seeing any healing on. No, it's just kidding, it's Mega, cool, awesome. Alright, Crunch will come through. doesn't get the kill on the Slowbro, but you can't Psyshock a Dark type. Traverse City Thunder is flexing all over Ice Cold, and it is 5-1, and that's game number 1. Gonna be going over Traverse City Thunder as a good step, try and come out the best that he can in seed number 2. Yes, Shockwave is revealed, but there's not much shock once you've seen so many Pokemon go down on the side of Ice Cold. Yes, he lives the blizzard, but the hail will put the final nail. Oh, I can't rhyme that. That's okay. GG, Sharking takes game 1. That's a painful start for Ice Cold if you want to stay in a 5th seed position. It's not going to be a 2-0, but a lot of questions coming out here from the ideas that maybe he's trying to go for. Oh, I forgot to open a second page. Oopsies! Oh well, that's fine. Okay, so what do we say about that match? Well, Ice Cold might be pulling a bit of a World Leader versus Fortnite Ninja situation where you see a lot of different things. And the sunny day to constantly counter the hail. It's good because we did see this actually with Golden State Greninjas against Traverse City Thunders, trying to shut down that hail to stop the likes of the Aurora Veil, or just try and like really shut down that little Ninetales. But the problem is, well, nothing happened, right? We didn't see any pressure. We didn't see any offensive pressure that would threaten Traverse City Thunderous. So the Aurora Veil actually gets even more value because you're already doing no damage, and now you're doing like next to no damage. And then you look at what the side of Traverse City Thunderous has brought, where now you've got the likes of the Taunt Gyarados, so it can set up against that. It sets up against the Mega Slowbro. You've got Low Kick, Choice Band Aggron to shut that down because it can't be. Yeah. That makes sense, because it has to be Choice Band because you got a Mega Gyarados. I don't think he's running double things, but now we have to know that damage. I actually need to know the damage. Let me look this up really quickly. I really want to see. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't have your damage calcs ready. That's okay. I'm pretty sure Choice Band Low Kick wouldn't be run unless you knew it would pretty much kill the Ferrothorn. So let me go grab that. I'm very curious to see. But now, this is going to have to be the time that Anish has to answer. He needs a point tonight. He's gonna be living on a knife's edge if he's not grabbing even a single point. So yes, it's difficult against Traverse City Thunderous, and yes, he has one more match next week. But do you really want to leave it to that? I wouldn't. And mentally as well, you want to feel like you've brought a plan, and the plan is gonna come together. But if that's gonna be if that's gonna be the way that it looks, Anish needs a better answer. Now, having said that, he's got a plethora of Pokemon on his team that I'm sure he's built. I think the Trispexi Mega is gonna be perfectly fine to get a lot done for him, but we need more damage, right? The defensive walls don't seem to be doing very much here. There's a lot of things that Sharking's already brought that's already proven that, yeah, they're not living for very long if you keep them in on these particular Pokemon. But it also means, like, the worst part is, you've seen Low Kick and Head Smash, because that's a Rockhead Choice Band Aggron, I'm assuming. I'm not going to reveal it officially, mainly because I haven't actually grabbed the set yet. But, oh! Okay, that's interesting damage. So Low Kick is actually only 67 to 78%. So there's a chance for him to live, but the problem is, now you've got that in the back of your head, and Sharking already knows his plays are going to be safer than what Anish can bring. So Anish has to reset. Anish needs to bring either a different plan, or he just needs to find the aggressive Pokemon on his team, take the knowledge that he learned from Game 1, and just let it be what it is, and go from there. Because otherwise, this can look really hairy for Anish. And the last thing that you, like, here's the thing. You're at the end of the season. If you do end up going to the playoffs, what you don't want to look at is... What you don't want to look at is... taking on the eliminations round and then being placed on the side where Sharking is going to be, or being placed, right? Because this is good knowledge for between Mitchie or Sharking, depending on who goes. If he knows that he wants to, if they're worried about it, I don't think either coach is going to be particularly worried about either of these things, but, you know, it's concerning for Anish. You had a problem against Fortnite Ninjas. Now you're having a problem against Traverse City Thunderous. Do you really want to go to the semifinals when you've only got 2 weeks left to try and adjust your team? Not particularly, so... Ooh, that's an unfortunate piece of information I just found out from. Ooh, oopsies. Yeah, no, I can't have you fix it, Anish. Sorry. Any issues that happen on the day, I can't. You have to. The Pokemon's dead. Hey, TCG Rambo. By the way, guys, to all the people who have been subscribing as they came back, Suwaka with the 14th month resubscription. I believe it's loading up for me. Jet Punch with that 6-month resubscription. Thank you very much, my friend. Initiator with the 13-month resubscription. Thank you very much, guys. Embrace the face around. Let's get a string of ProPoc W's holding hands. Hold on. There you go. How am I doing this? Let's just do this. There you go. Bam. You know, it kind of worked. That's okay. Do a better job than me. Thank you very much for that support, guys. Appreciate it. We're just having the side of Ice Cold get their sets ready. There was an issue, but unfortunately the issue will lead to a dead Pokemon. I will not mention which one, but yeah. We'll have to see. I mean, it's mental fortitude at this point. If you feel it, if we see Ice Cold just not looking great, let it happen. Move forward. You got 1 more week. You got playoffs to hopefully look forward to. The more pressure it's going to be, the worse it's going to be as well. Yes, matchups generally sometimes will look bad on paper. We saw that with Fortnite Ninjas versus I Am Groot, where I Am Groot just had next to no answers, tried the best, but in the end, Mitch just comes out on top. I don't think this is necessarily one per se, but you don't want to treat it like that, because the moment you start thinking it's unbeatable, it could just be a go back to the drawing board and see how you could have built it better. And it gives you an idea also. The nice thing is if you do go to playoffs, you can look back at your series of 2 and go, okay, we only played 2 games against each other, but why did it go so quickly, or why did it take so long, or what sets do I actually need to be afraid of? Because sometimes even Sharkin can go back at the end of the day and just reset his mentality and go, well, I mean, this worked, but maybe I just need to do this. Now I know this is what my opponent, if I face them again in the playoffs, will be doing. So, as long as you get lost in the mind games, everything's going to be A-okay. Okay, Anish could say it. Heatran is actually running an illegal moveset, so he cannot run Heatran. That's going to be interesting, because I think Heatran actually would have been a fairly decent Pokemon to run here with it. But, hey, these things happen. You know what also happens? We actually get into battles here in this channel. Isn't that great? Sour pleases in chat, please. It's going to be game number 2 between Ice Cold and Traverse City Thunderous. What are we going to be looking at? What is going to be different? That Moltres has to stay, I guess, on the side, needing that fire Pokemon. Mesprit and the Crabominable showing up. So there's that Trick Room. He thinks this is going to be important, but we do see the Alolan Muck, and Aggron and Alolan Muck don't mind Trick Room. In fact, they can actually go really awry if Anish loses pressure in Trick Room. There's going to be so much damage dealt to his team. You got to assume Fire Punch is somewhere, or Fire Fang is somewhere on these Pokemon. A Hidden Power Fire of the sorts has to be on these Pokemon to handle the Ferrothorn. And Crabominable, well, it just doesn't like damage in general, and Gunk Shot will not be a pleasant surprise for him. It will be the Moltres versus the Alolan Muck. Moltres is going to get nothing done here, as the Alolan Muck will just stand stoic as the knockoff will come through. It is a Heat Rock reveal, so it is 8 turns of Sun. But Alolan Ninetales can just make that 1 if it just pops out instantly. Now, the Sun is here. You don't want to go for the... If he goes for the Solar Beam again, he will be locked into it. The Flamethrower will just happen. Nice critical hit. And the miss on the Gunk Shot. The Sun is actually Heavenly Rays shining down on the RNG here for Ice Cold. They need it at this point because even the leadoff just doesn't feel the greatest for him. Can I suggest something better? No, I'm not a player. He's going to get another Flamethrower down. Doesn't get the burn, unfortunately. The Moltres will be taken down, but arguably has done a decent job here with getting the Alolan Muck in a position where it's just going to be feeling comfortable. Comfey is going to be the Pokemon switching in. This is actually growth used, as Gunk Shot can one-shot. I don't know what was happening there, but I don't know. Unless he was trying to feign something, or maybe he thinks Traverse City Thundurus was thinking of preserving it, but I mean, Alolan Muck, there's no healing for it, there was no pivot, there was no reason for it to switch. Now the Yanmega will come in, and will finish it off, but I mean, Alolan Muck, not carrying Shadow Sneak, keep that in mind, wasn't Shadow Sneaking. So, I mean, not going to help him in game number 3, because there is no game number 3, but if he takes the time, he could just try and get something still done here. The Aurora Veil will come in as the Mesprit does make its way in. Now, like we said, the Alolan Muck is gone, so now Aggron will be a really good proprietor, or a really good thing when it comes down to... God. When it comes down to Trick Room being set up. So we'll have to see if he can get his time in here. And the Trick Room will be popped now. So now, let's see what happens for these next 4 turns. He will lose a turn trying to get a Pokemon in. Traverse City Thundurus could see this, and they do actually send in the Aggron. I was going to say, actually, they could try and just stall it out, considering, but he wants to get the maximum number of turns used here as well. But the nice thing for U-turn for Inish is you can see what's happening. Crabominable will come in. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to who's slower, the answer is Crabominable, but it's behind an Aurora Veil. Yes, it's 4 times super effective. I don't want to think that Iron Fist Boosted Moose will not kill this thing because of those little screens. That does make me a bit nervous. I just want to hope that a Crab can beat it down, but the Feeny will make its way in to take the hit, no big deal. Close combat has to be used. You can't risk your win condition being taken down like that, and is a Life Orb Crabominable. Now, what move might it have for this? I don't think it's worth it. I think you just need to accept that your Trick Room has been used up. Switches into the Ferrothorn, the very smart play, but the Nature's Magist is an equally smart play. Knows that he wants to switch, so Sharking will just take half damage on anything that comes out. Does not need to overpredict. These are very standard moves. Doesn't even mean make much budget here because all the Pokemon he has are feeling okay, and the Leech Seed will be bounced off Serena's glorious hair, as Protect will be used on the knockoff. Not going to see High Jump Kick fly out. There's no reason for it. He knows how much damage he dealt with the knockoff last time. He loses nothing by going for a move that will give him no recourse, as knockoff will just be used once again, and the Choice Specs are gone. But at least this thing will still be hurting. Now it has the flexibility too, so if it's got moves to carry with it, it's going to be an okay Pokemon. Feeny will come in to absorb the Misty Terrain, will be set up once again. Bug Buzz will do, you know, a decent chunk, all things considered, without any boosts. That's not too bad. Obviously, Tinted Lens will be assisting with that. But it's falling fast here. Giga Drain will be used. It does nothing, though, as the Moonblast will fly out and do a lot more. Even get the special attack drop to rub salt in the wound. Now, the thing is, Giga Drain, yes, looked okay, but even Bug Buzz lowering the special defense, he does have the likes of Tinted Lens, so it's not going to matter. It's as if it's doing normal damage, which, I mean, Giga Drain does a little more, but you're not really getting much done with it no matter what, so if you're going to attack, I just go for the move that might get the most done, because healing on Yanmega is like trying to... I don't know a good analogy for this. Can't use Thunder Wave against the top, but even then, you can't even Thunder Wave in the Misty Terrain. Ice cold, waking up. We're just gonna call it time zone difference. It's got to be a time zone problem. That's what we're gonna say. We're gonna blame it on time zones, totally. But U-turn will be used, and the Moonblast to just keep taking damage out of that Mesprit. Now we see the Yanmega come in. It's still not gonna be doing a ton of damage. He can go for as much as he can. Maybe he's just kind of submitting this Yanmega to its demise. Maybe he needs to try and get more Pokemon. He's actually just gonna go for U-turn once again. Maybe expecting Sharkin and Budge here, but again, the Mesprit comes out, and it's dead, and I think that's pretty much it. I think that's just a signal that Inish is out of options. I mean, this could be one of those, I think my opponent will just keep doing this situations, but the point is, both Pokemon that have been out here, Alolan Muck, Tapu Fini, they don't need to be saved. There's nothing he's going to be owning to keep them alive. So they've done their job, and now they're just getting extra bonuses. In retirement, the taunt will happen, but I think the Gyro Ball will just claim the life. But I mean, what a life both those Pokemon live between Feeny and Muck. Just doing so much, and now Mega Gyarados says hello, says, you can't do damage to me. Go ahead and do it. Do the whip. You can't, or can it? It might. No, it's got Gyro Ball. It's not going to be doing a lot, though, because it's resisted. He can just Dragon Dance all day. Look at that. He's even taking the same amount of damage, which is kind of sad because of the attack drop, so... Taunt will happen. Maybe Leech Seed flies out. Thunder Wave even gets him. And now the Mega happens. What a play. What an awesome play coming out here from Sharking. Just reading the situation perfectly fine. Knows how much he needs to do. Gets extra value gifted to him. And that's going to be the 2-0 for Traverse City Thunderous on the week. One step closer towards trying to take down Mitch. GG. And you can blame it on the wrong, or what's it called? You can blame it on the wrong movesets. You can blame it on just reading the situation wrong. But one thing you can't blame it on is, well, Shark King getting lucky. The man brought exactly what he needed to bring and just cleans house. That's what he wants to see. The 3 points are going to be feeling really good for him. And for Ice Cold, still has one match left, but you know, you don't want to be sitting down there, especially with what happens in our featured matchup here between Golden State Greninjas and Lunar Cresselia coming up. Anyone gets 3 points there, now you have to hope that your opponent, really, if he's going to try and hope, he needs, oh man, what would it, we'll have to take a look at that after. I'm going to have to look at the statistics because I think he would want to be on the side of Golden State Greninjas right now, considering that Lunar Cresselia has 2 matches. So even if they go 1-1, Ice Cold is going to be in a big pressure. And what's his last match in this tournament? He's playing against Manchester Manectric. So, you know, Ivan, if he shows up next week on time, this could be really dire straits now for Anish, looking to build this team really well, but dems the breaks. When we come back after the break, ladies and gentlemen, it will be our feature matchup of the week between Lunar Cresselias and Golden State Greninjas. The betting prompt will be both in chat as well as on the screen, and we'll see you after that. Thank you much for watching. Music. And now fade out. That's Steve! Damn it, Steve. Leaving me to do all this work like it's my channel or something. God. Holy cow, I didn't even see the time. I just got right and back. Welcome back to the ProPokeBowl Season 5, Week number 9. Wow, that was a time and a half. On time, in the wrong ways. Let's look at our featured matchup between Golden State Greninjas and Lunar Cresselias. I was doing some math, getting some water, and you know, looking at the situation that Anish was looking forward to. So, Anish and Golden State Greninjas, Ice Cold and Golden State Greninjas went 1-1. So, if we want to take a look at the standings here really quickly, they are both in 5th place. Now, the way that it would go for Ice Cold, the best case scenario for him to still have playoffs hopes alive is tonight. Lunar Cresselias needs the 2-0 Golden State Greninjas, and then that will be his last match, and then Anish needs to 2-0 Ivan next week, because that will be the tie. That will force the tiebreaker, but it's looking scary right now. A single win here for Golden State Greninjas will push them into the playoffs and will actually give us our top 6, unless Ice Cold 2-0s. So, the only situation that you don't want to see yourself in is... Well, actually, you know, there's a couple ways to go. If Golden State Greninjas gets to 2-0, and then Ice Cold 0-2s, they will have the same number of things, and they also 1-1, so it will be a best-of-3 form. So it has to go one or the other. 1-1s for both of them would be atrocious for Anish. That will end it if he doesn't 2-0 next week, because if he 1-1s Manchester Manectric and then Lunar Cresselias 1-1, there's still time they'll have the tiebreaker, but there's actually a lot of situations now that I do more math. That's awesome. So he's not completely out of it. It's not hopeless for Anish, but it does mean that next week he needs to grab points, especially if Lunar Cresselias tonight 2-0s, because that'll give him the 16, and then Golden State Greninjas are up in wins. For those who don't know, the way that the tiebreakers work is you look at points first. If the points are tied, you look at the head-to-head. If the head-to-head was a 1-1, you look at the total number of wins in the season. That's why just gaining points is one thing, and it can still keep you alive in the standings, but gaining 2-0s or just gaining more wins in general will give you that upper hand, because we have seen, I think Inert Fury was the biggest example in Season 4, where he got a ton of points just from 1-1ing nonstop, made it to the playoffs, but if he had to do a tie, he would not have won any, well, he would have had the head-to-heads against them, but the number of wins would have been much favor. Number of 2-0s would be in favor of most other people. So yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting. But let's take a look at tonight's match. It's an important match. 5th place breaker. Need to get through all of this for both Tyler. Tyler Poke Trainer being the only coach right now to take a single game off of Fortnite Ninjas. Looking good while doing it in game number 1 in that series. But now he's got to go against Mr. Innovator, Mr. Inventor, Mr. World Leader 9000, Memer of Thunder Punches, and Glorious Rain makes it rain all the time. Unfortunately, he's lost Pelipper, I think. Did he lose Pelipper again? He lost Cloyster this time, which, believe it or not, was a Pokemon I was eyeing. I'm like, this actually destroys Tyler Poke. Interesting. No Cloyster for Golden State Greninjas, so he can bring the rain once again. And Lunar Cresselias have lost the Manectric. So, both of them kind of get rid of Pokemon that can just get free value, get free hits. Manectric, probably a much better ban, just because, well, the quality of the Pokemon between two are incomparable. Mega Man just does so much better than Cloyster, because Cloyster has to actually get stuff done, like shell smashing, and get the damage out before being wiped out by things like priority and the like. And for Lunar Cresselias, what we've seen is someone, he's starting to build more of a team for himself, actually grabs the Meloetta this week, and drops the Gligar. And Gligar was an interesting drop for me, because to me, Gligar was actually one of the more promising Pokemon. I think that's been a pattern, too, when we've been watching Lunar Cresselias. We see an Excadrill. It goes 4 out of 7 wins. We're seeing all these Pokemon that would be really good, and we don't see much of the Tyrantrum, and when it's out there, it loses. We don't see much of the Gligar. We don't see much of the Excadrill, and these Pokemon that could be used in different ways. And we're seeing kind of a use of everything else. He's got one of the more mixed up, kind of has used everything on the team. But we haven't seen a full coming together for this team yet. And I think now Jirachi is in, and the Meloetta. Yeah, you're not liking Dark too much, but I think he's bringing out a different style of team, just trying to build himself more value, because if it's going to be a mixed bag, the best thing that you can do is just bring maxed value for the Pokemon that you're getting. Brings in the Meloetta. For Golden State Greninjas, picked up the Electros, didn't get to use it very well in week number 8, but Still has a really solid team. Has shown us quite a bit of techs, if you will, with all of his teams. But, you know, it just feels like sometimes it has been going overboard. We saw it very much against the Fortnite Ninjas. There's too much difference to try and make work. Shout out to Inferno, which seems to always be the butt end of every meme for some reason when World Leader plays. I don't get it, but it happens, and it's great. So, my question is, in a standard situation, who wins this out? If it comes from battling, I actually think that if we don't look at preseason Lunar Cresselias, I think this is fairly even. I might even give a very slight edge over to Lunar Cresselias. Just a very slight one, right? Because I think their Pokemon just gets more done. The Mega Pidgeot versus Mega Aerodactyl seems quite interesting to me because these Pokemon can get a lot of damage down when you don't have resists. So Empoleon's going to be important, and Mega Aerodactyl does have to worry about the likes of a Seismitoad, physically defensive Seismitoad. Also just getting not outsped, but if there's any Scarf Pokemon, you could watch out for Scarfrachi. Things like this could do a lot of damage. I'm curious also to see if the Meloetta comes out in this series for the likes of the Venusaur. Prepared for that and try and take it down. Let's just get into it. Don't ask questions, just start playing. That's my motto. Not really. My motto is, be a good person. It's a very boring motto, but, you know, live simple. It's the way it goes. I'm happy. And I'm just a happy guy tonight. It's great stuff. Battle music, maestro. Thank you. Game number 1 for the second and only series tonight between Lunar Cresselias on the close side and Golden State Greninjas on the far side. Let's take a look at it. The Pidgeot and the Aerodactyl meet in the skies. But the question is, who will be met with a victory? Let's take a look at these teams a little bit more here. We do see the Meloetta coming out, as well as the Seismitoad. And on the side of Golden State Greninjas, we do see the Trampa making its appearance. Don't have to worry about weather too much. But that Jirachi is here, and so is the Venusaur. So a lot of Pokemon that we were actually taking a look at, the Empoleon as well. So everything that I've called, hey, I feel slightly accomplished, even if for a mid-tier battle. So that's not a shot at them. That's like, these could be people who I will feel the most even against in this tournament. And it makes me feel good to call the Pokemon. So, hey, you know what? Learning right in time for playoffs. That's all that matters is playoffs analysis, I think. Not whatever. Either way, Seismitoad versus Aerodactyl. This is not the face that Aerodactyl wanted to meet. This is not the time for him to try and get anything done. Mega-ing here might not even be possible. You don't want to risk that Skull doing so much damage, or Seismitoad even just taking the hit really well and just setting up starting to go ham on the team. Earthquake plus Hydro Pump, or Earthquake plus Waterfall, or the likes, like just going for offensive hits here, maybe with Earth Power on the Seismitoad, can be painful in the rain. I kind of like how much it could do. Empoleon would have to come in and take a giant chunk, and I think that'd be worth it for Seismitoad to do, especially if the Aerodactyl's taken down. But for now, I think Seismitoad is the check for Aerodactyl if it is physically defensive. Also note, once again, World Leader has brought Double Mega before, and he just kind of makes a decision based on the time and what he sees happening in the match. So the Electros will be the one to come in and check, and Stealth Rock is just going to be expended. Lunar Cresselias don't need to worry about taking much of any damage, which might confirm that it is a physically defensive Seismitoad that is meant to scare off the Aerodactyl, but Golden State Greninjas being the wise ones in just confirming that, well, I'm not going to do much damage if I stay out here. Let's just leave this for another matchup. But we do see Electros come in, which could confirm Giga Drain, because the Toxic is going to fly in. I think that's pretty good value, but the Giga Drain will come out as a one-shot! No Rindo Berry to show! But, you know, at least he got the Toxic down and some setup. It's not going to be the absolute most value because you wanted to see that Seismitoad for the Aerodactyl to take the Stone Edges. But, because, again, Electros can bring so much, it is a World Leader buffet. And now Sylveon will have to be one to try and come in. A straight shot puts him down to a 5-6 deficit for Lunar Cresselias. Now, obviously, you could abuse this Toxic. He generally has carried Wish Protect on this Sylveon, so try and stall out a little bit. Make World Leader take some extra damage on a Pokemon. But instead, the Volt Switch is going to be used as a Wish is just used straight. So, Just kind of wanted to see what move he's going to go for. If he does have Protect, I think it would have been better to go for it there. Just try and get that little bit of damage, because the Volt Switch was going to be used. Most likely, if you're going to see the Giga Drain, he might be running the same set he's run before. And you would have at least tried to get some extra Toxic damage down. And you lose nothing by going for Protect. You take no damage. Now you don't have to stand in here against the Empoleon. This Empoleon could be carrying Flash Cannon. We've seen it before. Shoutouts to Sharking. And, generally, the best memories are the ones that you remember of all the things being, you know, super destructive. But the Defog will be used as the Meloetta makes its way in. Meloetta could be Pirouette form bringing out the close combat, or it could be bringing out the Focus Blast. And lo and behold, physical Meloetta, and the Toxic is used to boot. Not too shabby for Lunar Cresselia. Don't have to worry about losing all the offensive pressure that this Pirouette form could be using. How much does Pirouette do here? It could do a fair amount, as Drain Punch is revealed. Not close combat. Interesting feature. Not going for max damage, going for a little bit more stability with it. Might be a bit of a waste on Meloetta, considering it has a lot of offensive, it has a lot of attack power. I think like 132 or something when it switches up. But either way, he will have that bit of healing, so Toxic actually feels even better for Lunar Cresselia's. The thing is, though, how much damage do you actually want to take while trying to go for this? There are easy switches here for Golden Sacred Ninjas. If they expect the Drain Punch again, the Venusaur can come in. I guess you go Electros. Actually, it gets a pretty good value. I think Venusaur is going to have to be the check, and that might be abusable here for Lunar Cresselia's to go for the return, and just know that Empoleon doesn't want to stay in, and it will be the Venusaur making its appearance, and Ice Punch comes out, reading it even better. Ice Punch and Return actually do the same amount of damage, so I might favor Return a little bit more there, just because it would hit the likes of Infernape for free. You wouldn't expect Drain... Well, I mean, you could see it, and then who knows? Who knows the amount of damage that could be dealt, what type of Infernape it could be running. But nonetheless, Synthesis will be used on the Mega Venusaur. So Mega Venusaur over Mega Aerodactyl, despite the fact that Sizzatoad is dead. And now, here comes the answer. Electros will tank up the Hurricane, no problem actually, and threatens with a lot of damage. A Volt Switch could be easily used here, as the Ground-type user is dead. So, U-Turn comes out, Sylveon will come in, Volt Switch is going to be used, and that's going to be Switch Initiative for Golden State Greninjas. Let's actually take a look at the bets here. I forgot to take a look at the bets. A lot of interesting bets. Ooh, that is extremely interesting coming out from the audience. Thank you very much for those who bet their new bits and trying to make some points back. Hasn't been looking great for Twitch chat yet, but I believe in you guys being the better analyst than Gamma and myself combined. Maybe not. We'll have to see after Week 10 analysis when we put all of our predictions together and see who got the points correct. I believe in Twitch chat. Tyrantrum will make its way in as the Toxic once again uses. So, World Leader's spreading a lot of status here. The thing is, you gotta be careful, because as much as you're spreading status, you gotta start putting some damage down. He doesn't have a team that can necessarily stall out forever. He doesn't have super obnoxious Pokemon outside of the Mega Venusaur, because Electros doesn't have any self-healing other than like Giga Drain. Empoleon have to run Rest. These types of things. So if you have a super bulky team, this would be something like I Am Groot's team, where if we could just stand in there forever and keep healing and keep healthy with the Suicune and the Blissey, this would be a similar situation. But it is going to be more of a budget version, as Head Smash doesn't even do half the forehead on Mega Venusaur. Too strong for Tyrantrum. And now the Pidgeot has to come in. The Synthesis comes out, and you can just see the face on Venusaur be like, what? What do you... Stop hitting me. Stop it. But now he does have to switch back into the Electros. We're going to see the Hurricane once again. It just makes the most sense. You could have seen a U-turn come out there predicting this switch, but I think getting all the damage on this Electros mixed with the Toxic has now brought into range to die to Hurricane. So Electros, that check will be destroyed this turn. And that means Mega Pidgeot getting one step closer. We said this between the Aerodactyl, but because of the Mega Venusaur, Aerodactyl can still do damage. It's still got a decent attack stat. It's got really good speed. So it can still threaten despite the fact it's not Mega. But if you brought Mega Aerodactyl, that's an item disadvantage. He doesn't need to worry about you'll knock off. The thing's fragile. It's going to die to everything. Heat Wave used for insurance. Remember, No Guard is the ability on Mega Pidgeot, so never has to worry about missing. Maybe we're seeing it for the likes of the Empoleon, but even then, Hurricane does the same amount of damage, has a 30% chance to confuse, and Confuse is obnoxious, despite the fact it's been nerfed in Gen 7, so. Aerodactyl makes its way in. It is still a speed win for Aerodactyl, and Stone Edge will be used on the Jirachi. Now, like we said, okay, we do see leftovers on the Jirachi, so it is a defensive Jirachi. Won't be outsped, but Aerodactyl can't threaten Jirachi much, so you do have to worry about Iron Head. You gotta be worried about paralysis in general. If this thing gets paralyzed, Pidgeot is the MVP all of a sudden. And like we said, there's going to be a lot of conditions here that ice cold now with that O2. We'll be watching the Z move. What? Oh, Z Crunch, the Black Hole Eclipse sucks the final star. And that's a huge deal for Golden State Greninja's Darkium Z. Love it, but that is a Scarf Tyrantrum and says, I am the actual carry. That is damage, but now Empoleon feels safe. What's the Pokemon coming in? Most likely Sylveon. You gotta think about that. You always have to think about Flash Cannon on this thing. I don't think he's running it. He wouldn't want to sacrifice. Actually, he has sacrificed Skull before. Now that I think about it, Flash Cannon actually hits everything not too bad. Huh. Fascinating. Might just have to cut your losses and check it with Tyrantrum, go for the head smash and say this thing's dead. But it got the value we wanted to see from Tyrantrum. That's finally the hit we wanted to see. I keep forgetting. I'm pretty sure Aerodactyl gets Earthquake, which is why I wasn't totally convinced that Jirachi would be, like, the answer unless it was Scarfed. Z-Crunch is an interesting thing, probably for Meloetta as well, to be honest with you. Might just be a kill on the Meloetta at the same time, but he is taking down the Jirachi, and these are two Pokemon. These are defensive Pokemon that we want to see Aerodactyl take down. But now it's going to be up to Infernape and Venusaur, and potentially a Drampa. The Drampa, despite the fact we don't talk much about it, has done things in the past. The Relic Song will happen as Flash Cannon is revealed. And there's your moveset on Empoleon, but it's still a lot of damage. Now, here's the thing. You got to mitigate, exactly. Got to mitigate that Drain Punch healing. You want every tick of Toxic to feel fantastic for yourself. And now you got to make the switch. You have to send in Mega Venusaur. Ice Punch would not be the great play because of Thick Fatty. We'll end up just going for Drain Punch. Give him that tiny little bit push of HP so he can last one more turn. And Pirouette can just go for the return if it is going to be actually carrying that. Not too sure. Actually, it could be running Zen Headbutt as well, I believe. Remember if Meloetta gets that. We'll just be Ice Punch. Not going to get the most amount of value, except if it freezes. But he instantly thaws. It doesn't matter. He takes out the Pirouette form. Oh, that was a... that was a series of events that just happened. You want to see the freeze on the thick, fat Pokemon? He's like, nah, man. You keep hitting my forehead. I'm just going to stare you down intently and crack through that. No problem. But Mega Venusaur has to stare down a giant hurricaning bird that'll never have to worry about missing. I think it's going to have to be the Drampa reveal or the Empoleon, but one of these two Pokemon are going to have to take the hit because Venusaur has been too important. It's going to be tanking up that Tyrantrum too well. That is the Assault Vest Drampa, but here we go. Hacks could be in the side of Ludicrous. We've seen it before. This has been carrying him through the entire way. This is why Mega Pidgeot is so obnoxious to play around. Sylveon will have to come in on the Dragon move that's mostly going to be used, but the Thunder once again misses. Golden State Greninjas just can't strike lightning. They are not AC/DC. They will not Thunder Strike enough. As the Wish could come out now. Now, here's the thing. You want to wish. It's going to have to be Mega Pidgeot coming in because Flash Cannon is going to destroy whatever Pokemon wants to stay in here. Sylveon can tank it, can even just go for Protect now. Seeing it. Oh, you don't want this to happen. Is he actually Toxic? No, that would have been an easy kill for Golden State Greninjas. But overthinks the play. Or he just super laser focuses on taking down that Sylveon. He does know this is Choice Scarf, so yes, he can stall out the Toxic a bit. He will also be able to check the move, which means now Venusaur can come in, but if you see a Mega Pidgeot switch, that's going to be great advantage here for Ludicrous, especially knowing Tyrantrum stayed alive. Man, Ludicrous has been playing that Sylveon really. Every time they play that, we've seen seldom times. There have been a few times when the Sylveon's not been played, but when Sylveon has been played well, it has kept Ludicrous alive, win or loss, so... good on Ludicrous to keep this going. And for World Leader, he's been playing it super well too. Having that answer to the Mega Pidgeot is a big deal. He knew he had to deal with one of the two. That's why he bans Mega Man. Too free for him. And he'd rather just tank up Hurricanes all day. And so far, he's been doing a decent job. The Venusaur will have to make its way in. It does have to take a bit of damage, but luckily for him, because it is locked in, you don't want this Toxic to tick down too much. Synthesis away free unless he goes for the Sludge Bomb. Seeing that Pidgeot come in, starting to get that damage on that Pidgeot. You have to do damage to it eventually. The win is damage. You can't have Drampa keep switching it to try and hit Thunders because Ludicrous keeps switching it, knowing they have healing from the Sylveon. Oh, that felt good. Pidgeot comes in. Do we see the damage? It is the damage. He goes for the drop. He doesn't get the poison, though, which doesn't put this into two-shot range in the future. But here's the thing. By going for this, he doesn't have the healing. Does he trust that enough? He knows he can take 44% from that Head Smash, 19% from Earthquake. Two incredibly important damage calculations for World Leader to keep track of right now, because at this point, Drampa has to come back in, maybe the Empoleon as well. Just go for the Flash Cannons at full HP. Maybe he goes back into Drampa to try and bait it up, but will the Empoleon take it up the hit? The Hurricane comes through. If he gets another Confusion, he's going to be feeling good hacks. He's not getting it. But you don't want more damage happening, because you have to make a switch like that again. Sludge Bomb Mega Venusaur, predicting that switch, will be destructive. It's slipping for Ludo Cresselius, but they can stay alive as long as they have the wish happening. Now, what does he switch into? If Flash Cannon is clicked, he's in big trouble. I don't think a Toxic will fly out on Pidgeot. He doesn't need to. He can just press damage. He can literally just push damage here, and Tyrantrum can't take the hit very well. Tyrantrum is down, and this is the situation we wanted to see. Minus all that damage it took, Pidgeot has to come back in. I think that's it, because there's nothing left for him to pressure the Empoleon. He's got to get the damage. He's got to get the Confusion. He doesn't get it. The Toxic is dropped for assurance. This is okay, because he knows he can't get hurt by this Pidgeot. And World Leader has found his way. He is walking. He might be one step closer to securing himself a playoff position as comfortably as he can. Oh, by the way, how are those emotes working, guys? Are the emotes popping up on screen and everything like that? I haven't been paying attention. Hurricane comes out, does not get the hacks. The Toxic will put this down to a 1v4. And we can congratulate the Sylveon all we want. But if it doesn't get the W, it's not getting the points. Golden State Greninjas living out this dream of, for the first time, not being one position off from playoffs. They want to be in it, and they want to carry their name through. What a performance from both, though. Back and forth mind games here and there, both taking advantages, but in the end, Golden State Greninjas tanking up the damage well enough, managing that Mega Pidgeot. It looks scary, but World Leader still had enough in the tank. Ludo Cresselius is going to have to go back to the gas station, try and figure out, do we move up the premium? Do we have the answer? Do we know what we want to do? But as it stands right now, Golden State Greninjas, ooh, with a single HP. Good thing I didn't finish that. The match has gone on long enough that the 15-minute battle theme is done. Oh, and it went to Cyrus too. This would have been the next one, but nonetheless, game one going to World Leader. And that's the evenness we thought we would see from this series. That's what I pretty much figured would happen. You're going to see this back and forth. We don't see World Leader going crazy with his strats, keeps it straight, and actually uses, like, the Flash Cannon I think is doing really well for him with everything that is being managed. That is super freaking sweet. And he's just going to be taking that one home comfortably. But now, the tough part. Where do you go with this? What is your answer? I gotta stop doing that. What is the answer for Lunar Cresselius? Do they play the same thing? Because I think what he brought was okay. It is important to note that it is Darkium Z on that Aerodactyl, so the only thing that I can really think why he would do that is he didn't want Shaman to tank the hit up potentially. It would have been really good against Incineroar too if Incineroar was brought. So this might be good information that Incineroar might feel much more comfortable. There's no Scald on the Empoleon. There's potentially no Earthquake on the Aerodactyl. We don't know, but it's also not Mega Aerodactyl. So if Seismitoad is preserved, it could be just a simple, I forgot that Giga Drain exists on Electros. It could just be something as simple as, don't keep it in on the Electros. Move forward with it. Or Electros, sorry. Move forward with it and keep that Pokemon defensive in time to manage everything else. Because here's the deal. Depending on what he's running with those rocks, if he keeps the rocks going, rocks would have made that so much worse for World Leader considering all the extra chip damage he'd be doing from switching non-stop. Yes, he has the Defog and Empoleon, but that means that you can start abusing that and try and go for more damage. Just try and continuously get that damage rolling out. And if you have Empoleon's super safe, so I think you keep the Seismitoad, you learn from it, you know the Empoleon could be a very easy time for Ludo Cresselius to set up and get the proper switches, maybe some double switching coming in to try and catch World Leader off guard, because I really think it's going to be a momentum-based game too, because, well, it went the way of World Leader because he got the kills and he stopped the defensive walls from stopping him, and his damage was always going through, and he was able to stay bulky enough. But if there's more Pokemon to deal more damage, then I think Lunar Cresselia can actually take game number 2. And that's the one situation you don't want to see for if you're an Inish fan, because you're going to put extra pressure on him to have to 2-0 next week. So Inish is doing that whole Key and Peel, I can't remember, it's Peel? The sweating gif thing. Where he's sitting here. He has to watch this intently because here's the other thing, too. He's going against Ivan. And pressure's a big deal in this thing. And for World Leader, I think it's really cool to see that no mistakes yet in game number 1. We don't expect mistakes from World Leader. But this is a high-pressure game for him, knowing that playoffs, for once, is on the line. But he's actually in a playoff spot right now. He's always been playing from behind, or if he has dropped. But now he's worked his way up. He's shown his strength. He's shown his knowledge as early as week number 3 when he went up against Fortnite Ninjas. So, or not Fortnite Ninjas. Traverse City Thunders, my bad. I was trying to think of which order they did it in. But despite the fact that he taken down the Titans, to make it to the playoffs is already a step forward for World Leader in Pro Pokeball history, and this is something important for him to win. This is a showing that for a guy who plays Pokemon, yes, he plays VGC, but for a guy who has this knowledge and wants to show it off, and we want to see him show it off, because he brings such intuitive sets that are hit or miss, but it's a nice breath of fresh air, right? Needs to show that he can make this work, and I think what he's done is making the best out of every situation with the best he can with these trades, and with minimal trades. Yeah, the Gliscopod didn't really work out for him, but the Electros could finally walk home with a win, and this is like team mixed bag, right? He does what he wants and tries his best to make it work. So good on World Leader, good on Tyler Poke Trainer as well to make this work the best that he can. You know, you wouldn't expect a team that's kind of just a mix of everything and just kind of value village type of team with no clear direction. But, you know, we talked about the double megas, and I don't think actually double megas is working against Lunar Cresselias. You could argue, well, it's an entire slot loss because no matter what, one of those are going to get banned. And if they don't get banned, you still have to worry about, well, only one can Mega, and Pidgeot and Manectric by themselves. Yeah, Manectric's okay by itself, but you want it for the Mega Man. You want it for the Mega Pidge. So, if you can only run one or the other, you think it'd be constricting, but he has done okay with using them. And I think most games he has brought the correct Mega. And I'm just looking at the usage stats here. Where's the Manectric? Why did I lose Manectric? Like, the Manectric has actually not shown well, but the Pidgeot's been doing quite well for him with the matches that he has been winning, so. Will that stay true? We'll have to see in game number 2. Is that the second game that's already come through? Yes, it is. Okay. So they're into game number 2. Awesome. Whew. I don't know about you guys. It's supposed to rain here, and we haven't gotten the rain yet, and it's super tilting. I need rain. It's burning. Give me 1 second here. We'll get into game number 2, where World Leader wants to solidify and keep himself as safe as he can. Last game for the regular season in Season 5 for Golden State Greninjas. How special can he make it? Let's find out. Golden State Greninjas up 1-0 is apparently going onto the roads, the streets. They're gonna be battling out in the dust. Sour pleasing chat from Pokemon Coliseum XD Gale of Darkness, magic music, yeah. As I don't know what I'm trying to do there, but we do see the Incineroar and we see the Shaman. Believe it or not, 2 Pokemon I was just talking about that could be a thing. Now you see what Aerodactyl wants to do. Darkium Z, hey, that's not a boosted Earthquake. I'm okay with this. And it is a different look for the team, so it's more focused on just being able to tank the hits, and he kind of wants to play what World Leader was playing against him. So Pidgeot will be leading up against the Infernape. That could be a fake out Infernape, which wouldn't be too bad to start some damage off and give a little bit of information to both teams. But you don't want this Mega Pidgeot getting all this free damage. Could just go for a free U-turn. Hey, this music is incredible, okay? This music is actually incredible. And it seems it's like a Benny Hill battle theme. If you fought Benny Hill, where it'd just be nothing but chasing. It's okay, it's only here for 30 minutes, Marie. No worries. But here you go. So now Golden State Greninjas have to think about how much damage can I start taking right away. I think this is a great call by Lunar Cresselias. Knowing that Golden State Greninjas have to answer it in some way, and it could just be a free U-turn to keep turn 1 and turn 2 in his favor, considering that the U-turn will give him the switch initiative, so. Golden State Greninjas taking their time right now. Time's ticking down a little bit. We've seen this before. Golden State Greninjas like to take their time, which is perfectly fine. A lot of thought without rushing into battles can always feel wonderful. But yeah, I didn't see the answer. Sorry. Is the overlay where the emotes are popping up working well, guys? I tried to place it in a place where it would be noticeable, but not like right dead in the middle of the content, if it's actually working. Drampa instantly is going to instantly make its way in, and the U-turn is the simplest to answer. He will have switch initiative. It sort of was. What's happening with it, officer? River of emotes flying out. Perfect. Okay, the Incineroar is going to make its way in. Do you have to worry about the Drain Punch that we've seen on Incineroar non-stop here from Lunar Cresselias? And you also don't want to get knocked off, because that's the thing that's helping him tank the hits from the Hurricanes. So Drampa, once again, is going to have to switch here, but something might just get knocked off. This could be free. This is good momentum here for Lunar Cresselias. Oh, that's okay. If the things are in my face, that's just this look. On every other overlay, it shouldn't be an issue. I tried to put in a corner, ProPokeBowl corner, like the ProPokeBowl screens were not designed with this overlay in mind, so every other thing, it should be fine. It'll be over the games that we're playing. And unfortunately, mobile is always just going to be behind on everything I try and get done with it. Both teams taking their time here. Oh, did you? Nice. So what is it, like, I tried to test it, but I couldn't do it. Is it just like you set an emote, you start spamming it? Or is it when you put an emote in chat? I wanted it to be the one where the emote in chat pops out and happens, but I couldn't find that one. I'm gonna have to ask streamers to be like, hey, which one is this? Because I can't find it. Golden State Greninjas down to 180 seconds on the timer. The Aerodactyl is gonna come in on the prospects that it could be the knockoff, but we see another U-turn here. So tons of momentum, tons of initiative for Lunar Cresselias. The Scythertoad will make its way in. Now it's feeling perfectly fine. This is the matchup we wanted to see before for Lunar Cresselias to be able to tank the hits from Aerodactyl. Electros will make its way in as Scythertoad comes in. We're not going to see a repeat of game number one. The Scythertoad will hop away. Probably see Shaman actually come in here. Shaman will take everything minus a flamethrower coming out of the Electros, so if he wants to take that. Even Incineroar actually could come in and threaten, because Focus Blast is a thing that exists. Same thing with Brick Break on the Electros, but at least you get another U-turner and you'll be faster, so if the Electros stays in, you can see that coming, and you're not going to be taking too much damage from Volt Switch or anything else regardless, but Shaman, safe option. Flamethrower happens. He's a god if he predicts that, because you have to assume there's too many Pokemon for Lunar Cresselias to switch in. And the other thing is, Lunar Cresselias will win this based on momentum. So if you just give him too much room and you're keeping Electros in at the wrong time, you're just going to start taking damage on the Pokemon that have to take the Mega Pidgeot hits. Not going to be ideal for Golden State. So 120 seconds. He can build that timer up back on the side of the Greninjas the faster he plays, but for now, the Empoleon comes in. We know it's Toxic and Flash Cannon. Might just see the defog happen, and he just opts to go for the damage. Seed Flare dropping. Ooh, okay. Seed Flare dropping the special defense. That's a huge deal, because now Empoleon can't stay in here unless he is going to sacrifice it as the tanker of Hurricanes. The other thing is Toxic not actually going to stick very well, because Natural Cure exists on Shaman, so Nat is just an easy switch, because he knows he has Scythertoad to also handle Empoleon. Yes, he doesn't want to get Toxicked, but you can't risk it. Scythertoad's actually going to come in now, and the Protect comes out instead from Golden State Greninjas. Wants to stall out some damage, but there's just too many safe switches. Even Incineroar can come in here. Now, having said that, how much do you want to chance your wall starting to get worn down? The answer is neither of them want to answer that, because the Earthquake is going to happen on the Venusaur. It's not Mega, so it doesn't have the extra stats to take that tiny bit better. But you have to assume this Venusaur is going to scare out the Scythertoad. Incineroar could be carrying both Assault Vest and Flare Blitz. Thick Fat, who cares? It's damage that's not going to be dealt much back. Well, actually, it would do a decent amount, but it is going to be on the Venusaur to be the ultimate answer. And World Leader's going to have to play this match out a little bit quicker to get his time back. The Incineroar indeed is going to make its way in. We do see the Sludge Bomb drop. No healing, but that's a good poison proc for Greninjas. That type of damage is going to be great on the Incineroar, considering it's got the U-turn. It's not going to want to stay in for very long. And it's just going to be good sticking damage, consistent damage turn by turn. But you can't do that. Again, this happened last game, just is happening earlier now, where the Venusaur isn't getting the synthesis off, so it's actually damaged, which means if the damage starts sticking, it might get put in a position where it's not going to be able to switch in and take hits anymore. So, now that Incineroar is here, it's staring at Golden State Greninja saying, come at me, bro. Bring me the person I'm knocking off, or just slamming. Because Flare Blitz actually gets a decent amount of damage off, even if it's Drampa. But again, no matter whatever he decides to make, Lunar Crystalias have the advantage in saying, Mega Pidgeot is going to be okay in the back, and the U-turn once again coming out. And that's a lot of damage Drampa's going to have to tank, with the Assault Vest being not wasted, but the Assault Vest becoming less and less valuable because it's supposed to take multiple hits. But now if it's brought to a range where it'll be taken out in one hit. Tyrantrum makes its way in. And this is a Scarf Tyrantrum with Head Smash and so much damage. This is unrelenting. Actually goes for Earthquake as the Focus Blast will one-shot the Tyrantrum. Oh, no. Now, that could have been dangerous. Because Head Smash would have been value on everything. Maybe thought the Empoleon was coming in, but doesn't need to worry about that because he wasn't under pressure. Yeah, Drampa's down, but Drampa got value in making sure that's one huge hit. That's one less huge hit that World Leader needs to worry about. This is good positioning for Golden State. Also good positioning for Ice Cold, believe it or not. And now Incineroar will be making its way in. Of course, the poison damage sticking a little bit harder right from the beginning. And you hate to see this go down as this. Yes, it's 5-5, but there's kind of like you can take a heavy sigh if you're on the side of a Golden State Greninja fan, because like that's a lot of damage that is prevented. That was a lot of free damage, despite the fact that you might say, well, Empoleon doesn't make it free, but it's still a lot of painful damage you don't take back. Sizeto will make its way in. Stone Edge will be used, and that's what we want to see before. Take a look at that crit. Look at this Stone Edge. It's a really bad Nickelback theme. I'm sorry. Nickelback mixed with country music. I just want to make tonight worse. Anyways, Aerodactyl might actually, I don't know if it would say goodbye right now and just go for the Dark EMZ damage as much as it can. Try and bring it down, because he has Venusaur, and Venusaur is always going to scare it off. Yeah, it'll take more damage, but he can just go for Synthesis on the Seismitoad. If it tries to go for Ice Beam or anything like that, it's gonna be tanked up by Thick Fat. So I still think he can keep this Aerodactyl safe. It's not gonna have to try and worry about priority. Doesn't have to worry about being at full HP because it's Life Orb or anything like that, or having HP to use Life Orb with. So I think you can still just make the switch into Venusaur. It could be abused here by Lunar Crystalias and just switch into Pidgeot, but you can't risk it, right? You can't risk this Dark MZ flying off and hitting one of your most important Pokemon left. 30 seconds on the side of Golden State Greninja's gonna have to start making some of them plays faster. Electros back as the Scald is gonna fly out. A burn would be great, but it doesn't happen. Damage is damage, and that's not gonna be the case this time. 30 seconds, Golden State Greninja, he has to start making the plays. He's gonna have to start clicking moves, and Sylveon's gonna have to make his way in as the Flamethrower flies out. We did say Flamethrower could be on the set, and that is a World Leader, well, not World Leader special, just makes the most sense for coverage. Volt Switch will happen. There's the quick plays that Golden State needs. Likes to play under pressure, I see, but he did predict the Shaman. The Shaman does not show its face, and this is the flexibility we needed Lunar Crystalias to have, because now he has 3 defensive walls that can start playing around with the damage. The Wish does fly out, though, which means anything that tanks a Flash Cannon will be A-okay. We could even see Incineroar come in and get a top off. Indeed, it does. If we see the okay, the Defog just cutting his losses, saying the damage is not going to matter. Let's get those rocks out, because rocks do make it harder to take all these hits, and he's going to get that value. But Sidestone is still alive, which means the dream for the hazards are still alive for Lunar Crystalias as well. Protect will happen to get more chip damage. Does check to see it is Drain Punch used, so did predict. Actually, why would he predict the Golden State Greninjas to stay in? Interesting. I thought he'd just go for another U-turn predicting the switch out, because he can't do it, and on top of that, even just going for U-turn, no matter what, he's losing HP if he's not going to make the hard switch. So I think U-turn actually would have been a little bit more valuable there, considering literally this Empoleon can't touch Incineroar. It's already poisoned, and he's not going to go for Flash Cannon, risking the Incineroar to destroy his Penguin. So is it actually canceling my voice? Are you serious? Yeah, pull out your 5X whiskey jugs, chaps. It's all good. 5X. Oh, he actually times out! Oh, no! He took too much time! No! serious? No! You don't want that! Oh, he actually... Oh! Well, now I think this music... Oh, man, that was World Leaders to win, but Ludicrous... We have seen one other timeout without... We've seen one other timeout in the history of ProPokeBowl. And that was in an Ivan Valdez match, I believe, where the 20 seconds bugged out and then destroyed him, but the timer's been fixed since then. Oh, man. Oh. Taking the time is okay, but... I mean, to be honest, the timer on Showdown after 10 seconds is basically... You basically have 290 seconds per match, but... Yeah, it takes a lot more than that, World Leader. Like, when you dip down to 30 seconds, you have to just keep clicking the moment it ends. Otherwise, you're... Because basically, they stop... Like, it gets incrementally faster on purpose, and it gives you less time on purpose for people who try to stall out. So, that's... I'm sorry to hear that, Ivan. We can't give you the match back, though. We've already forfeited it. I can't go back on it. Sorry, man. Ouch. Oh, man, I don't want to... Oh, that feels so... Okay, well, that happened. That is something that World Leader is not going to forget. And that's going to be the 1-1. And now this is even worse for Anish, because an 0-2 next week actually dooms him to make it into the playoffs. If he gets 2-0'd by Ivan... No, you can make it, Anish. There's still a chance, because that's the last match for... We'll take a look at the statistics afterwards. Let's actually just quickly look at the points as I input them, because... Oh, man. That was such a good match, too. It sucks. You want to see that one played out. Okay. Whew. Wow, you saying that Diego is only the 4th prettiest person in this game? I'm very surprised at that. Also down to the Heatran being bugged, yeah, or being just not built well. Okay, let's take a look at the standings now that all the matches are done in the most heartbreaking way. So, with that 1-1, Ice Cold is currently on the outside, but with one match left, and Golden State Greninjas will sit here with 14 points. So, there's a couple of ways that this can go. If Ice Cold gets a 2-0 next week, World Leader will be dropped he will be dropped as the second last seed in the tournament, thus kicking him out from the playoffs. And you don't want to see that happen if you're a World Leader fan. Also, let's take a look at all those who predicted a 1-1. Congratulations to the 2 people who voted. There were 4 people, 2-0 Golden State Greninjas guess, but Sharking and Suwako say, I see the evenness, and I will take my points. Youch! That's painful, but... So, here's a couple ways you can go. Ice Cold has to play against Manchester Manectric. The other matches that are happening... Let me go get them. The other matches that are happening... Lunar Crescelias are up against I Am Groot. So, if you have I Am Groot and Lunar Crescelias duke it out, if he gets a point... Oh man, it's gonna be sketchier, so watch this. So, if Ice Cold 1-1s... So if Ice Cold and Manchester Manectric 1-1, and then Lunar Crescelias and I Am Groot 1-1, just because you have to keep that in mind, considering what's been happening to Sweet D this entire tournament with all those ties. If you just have to assume that's the way it's going to go, then Anish... Oh, man, he needs a... So if he won once and then he's left with Golden State Greninjas, Golden State Greninjas will actually stay in as a 6th seed if Lunar Cresselia's and I Am Groot 1-1. If Lunar Cresselia's 0-2 and Ice Cold 1-1s next week, they actually go to a best of 3 because they'll both be at 3-2-0s. So... there are a couple of ways that Ice Cold is still alive in this tournament. And I mean, the big one could just be be the deal breaker and destroy Manchester Manectric or I Am Groot respectively, and just throw this entire tournament on its head. Because here's the really weird thing: is I Am Groot, I think at this point, Lunar Cresselia's would go to 17 if they 2-0. He'd be at 60. Yeah, so I Am Groot. Basically, we have our 4 seeds: Fortnite Ninjas, Traverse City Thunders, Manchester Manectric, and I Am Groot, I believe, are confirmed for playoffs now. If I'm doing numbers correct. I think all of them are in playoffs. I am... basically, first and second place is set in stone. Manchester Manectric cannot gain enough points to get into the first 2. It'll come down to next week's biggest match in it between Fortnite Ninjas and Traverse City Thunders, because Sharking needs to 2-0 Fortnite to actually take first place. So that'll be all on Sharking, and it'll be all for Fortnite Ninjas to lose, essentially. Call his manager, Anish. Yep, and Mitch only needs a single win. If he wins one match, he's first place officially. Traverse needs the 2-0. This is super interesting. Despite the fact that we've had all of these buys, this makes the points even more interesting in terms of the skill level, because you can kind of make it interchangeable. You have to see I Am Groot go through the eliminations round, first of all. Again. Second of all, now we see Sharking and Mitch and how they're going to look, because most likely they are the two that are looking primed and ready to potentially go to the finals at this point, considering with how well they've both played throughout this entire season. And then, depending on who makes it in, Ice Cold, because, like, we'd have to go look at the points again. I have to go rewatch the matches to see how everyone worked amongst each other. But who ends up making it at the 4 for the elimination round could make this quite an interesting series. I do think I Am Groot is feeling pretty safe and secure to go to the semis. That's not discrediting anybody. I just feel like his team is ready to go, to just go into the semis, and that's when it gets really, really nutso banana, because if Fortnite Ninjas get first place, you know he's choosing Sweet D for the semifinals, knowing that he's going to 3-0 him. Just based on the way the regular season went. Yes, his team's slightly different now that I Am Groot has Steelix, but I feel like Fortnite would just be like, I'll build for this, and the build should be good enough if I fight Sharking versus the other person. That's going to be the super neat part to see who first place chooses to play against. Because if Sharking takes first place, he can know that and sick the Wonder Twins against each other. And maybe just use the battle next week against Mitch as kind of a scouting grounds to build, hopefully. Because remember, in the semifinals, they have to build one team for 2 opponents. They can't switch between the semis and the finals, so whatever they bring, that's their match. So, who has the more flexibility? I think Fortnite Ninjas feel better in a standard format, depending on if they make any trades before playoffs as well. I think. It's tough to tell. It's really tough to tell off the bat here. Also, Manchester Manectric not the only team that has not made a single trade, but they're also the only team not to go 1-1. Interesting statistic. Also the reason for all of his points. Oh. Man. This is so neat. And World Leader, yes, we will do another match. Let's get one final match in. We'll just do a quote-unquote hashtag for fun match, just to see how it could have played out and confirm people. And you know what? You know what? Bring the exact same teams. Play out game number 2. I'm gonna put one more bet out for people. I wanna see. I just wanna see it. Who is gonna get the win? Let's remove the 2-0 Golden State or Lunar Cresselia's. Let's just do another bet here. Let's give people another one. Is it actually going to be a true 1-1 tie, or Golden State actually 2-0 in this situation? Just instinct. Oh god. We'll give you guys 5 minutes for that one. I'm going to take a quick break just for my voice before we get back into it, and then we'll do the for fun match. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you soon. Nice 3-minute break. Or 4 minute. Let's do 3-minute break. For fun. Yay! Welcome back, everybody, to the Pro Pokeball Season 5, Week 9. Off the record, the For Fun match. Sorry about that, I had to get something done for Officer. This is a super intense match where we want to see what ended up happening. What would have happened if the timer didn't drop? It's a big deal to think about. In fact, it's such a big deal, we're going to run it back. We're going to run it back so hard. Let's see what the votes are doing here. What are people betting here? Nobody voted. Nobody bet! What did you guys bet on? Everyone's betting too. You have to do a 0 or a 1 bet. If I give you more Nubits than Tim, I will pay you in so many Nubits, Marie. I'll just drop you like 30,000 Nubits a day. How's that? Is that doing it? Does that do it for you? Well, now the bets are going to be done. Yeah, see, now the bets are done. Now I'll give you another minute. Let me give you another minute here. Get the bets in. You got to bet. Is it a 0 or is it a 1? So what do we want to see from this match again? What is the actual See the ID next to the betting there? It says ID 01. That's how the betting system works in the Streamlabs chatbot. I don't make this up. Just make sure everything is good. You're paid for Snowbear. You don't do anything. All you do is kick my ass in bingo. That's all you do. Why would I pay you to beat me? That just doesn't make sense. All right. No timer. No timer. This is no. Trust me. When you see the match we go into, you're not gonna want a timer. It's fine. Let's set the proper time and let's precedence this with, or preface this with. We're just gonna be doing this. Let's see what happens. Let's have some fun. Let's pull up the battle music. I'm kidding. I'm not doing that to you guys. I'm giving you a much better theme for it. Oh, hey, look, it's the wrong match. Haha, wait, why is it the wrong match? Whoa, what? Oh, because I'm stupid. Whoops. None of this is actually happening right now, guys. Oh, it didn't show up? Oh, come on. Hold on. I have to show you. I have to show you guys. Hold on. Just for this one. I'll fix it later. Boop. There we go. It's anybody's game. Let's just get back into it. The game never happened. It's all good. Everything is A-okay. They're going to be bringing the same teams. Let's put them back on the same sides. Everybody's accustomed to what we were looking at. Like we said, the Incineroar and the Ashame were pretty good to look at. But, you know, let's see if anything changes. Now they know how the Game 2 is going to play. And we just go from there. But now they have all the time in the world. But it will be the Incineroar versus the Infernape. The Incineroar was again lead, so he's actually changing up his lead every time. Now he knows this is good practice for best of 5 since they both make it into it, because this is what the series are going to look like, right? So they got to get used to that at the very least. But with the Infernape now leading, now the Incineroar is actually more threatened. You don't want this thing to get close combat. The Sylveon has to come in to check. The Focus Blast, it's a special Infernape. It's about time we get to see what this thing was running. And special Infernape comes out, so okay. Does no damage to Sylveon, but good to know that the move that he is using is an unreliable fighting stab. That's very good information in the future when you gotta take a hit. Empoleon comes in. Psyshock is on the Sylveon. Very, very interesting. What is that for? I guess for the Venusaur, handling the Venusaur, but I mean, it's not going to stay and want to take the Sludge Bomb, I guess, in a pinch? Maybe it has enough speed to outspeed it, too. Toxic will be dropped on the Shame, and the Shame makes the most sense. Takes all the hits, doesn't care about Toxic either. You might see a Protect come out here from Empoleon, just to see, even if he makes the double switch, it's not going to matter. The turn will basically be moot, but it will give advantage to Lunar Cresselia, considering he can take the hit. The Protect actually does come out, and a Seaflare is used, so despite the fact that we don't see much of anything that Empoleon would want to do here, even keeping the damage stuck onto Shaman, we don't know if it's carrying Rest or Leech Seed, so that damage could easily be nullified. But either way, works out in World Leader's favor that he's not switched upon and lost advantage. Side Toad comes in as Flash Cannon is used. Luckily, he doesn't predict the switch, otherwise it would have been bad for Toad. Once this thing's gone, Aerodactyl feels a little bit safer. Yeah, but I beat you once, Snowbear. Either way, Earthquake will finally happen on the Levitating Electros. We finally get to see its value of having a weakness. And now it's time for the Toxic to fly through. It actually misses, and he goes for the Volt Switch. It's a moot turn. Nothing happens. In fact, it goes for the advantage of Lunar Cresselia going up to 100% HP. Booyah. But, He is so lucky he didn't click Giga Drain there. He does Giga Drain the second time, maybe thinking Lunar Crystallizer would do the time sync fallacy. Doesn't. As a Volt Switch will now happen. It's damage on Sylveon, but it's a wishing Sylveon. All it wishes for is for World Leader to get out and not make him miss Toxics again. Toxic on Electros would have been a big deal. It's a lot of damage that you don't want to have accumulating on the Electros, considering, again, doesn't have reliable recovery. And that is the story of Golden State Greninjas. Running the stuff like Rest really shows that his team is not that healthy outside of the Mega Venusaur. Everything else has to rely on Rest or just some kind of really weak healing feature. So if we were to expect something along the lines of World Leader trying to tank the hits up, that's why every switch matters specifically for his situation. This is why we've seen him fall when these types of things, you kind of see all these things going all over the place because he has to tank the hits the best that he can, and a crit really throws us off. So he's got like a 6% chance that him playing perfectly will ruin him. Luckily for him, though, Electros always coming in, putting pressure on the sides of Toad. That damage will stick a little bit better, considering it's not a natural cure Toad. That doesn't exist. Incineroar will now make its way in to take the Giga Drain. World Leader playing it out as best he can, predicting the switch and then going for the standard move. And then the second revisit, generally you will just go for the straight move, expecting people trying to outplay you. But because he's not losing anything, this is the correct way to play it. Considering he can try and make the double prediction. Double prediction, you gotta be really deep into a series. This is game number 3, so it could be argued that. That might be something you see in game 4 or 5 if it goes that far. You just try and play much more off-tune to get the advantage, especially when it's as even as this. Knockoff does a ton of damage to Drampa. Getting rid of the Assault Vest as well. So this thing that's used up. Mega Pidgeot. Doesn't have to worry about hitting that anymore. We haven't even seen Pidgeot once. But yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that knockoff should have just been always clicked. Oh, Focus Blast, though, is going to do a lot of damage to the Pidgeot. Not your most comfortable switch. We could have actually seen Shaman come in, considering it would have been like Focus Blast, maybe Draco, Surf, and Thunder. So it would be able to take the majority of the hits. But it will be just Pidgeot, maybe a certain authority saying I can take a giant ball to the face and be A-okay. As now Empoleon will soak up the damage. This is the Pokemon to take everything from Pidgeot, so we now have to track the amount of damage it will be taking. Now Venusaur will come in. Nice crit U-turn to authority onto the other Mega, saying I am the Mega Mega. I am the Giganta Mega. As now Tyrantrum comes in. We've seen this before. It doesn't do a lot of damage. Head Smash is only 44%, which means Golden State Greninjas can just click Mega and click Synthesis and check the Choice Scarf. This is one of those situations where the Choice Scarf works really hard against you. Choice moves that are not doing enough damage to put the kill pressure down, it does kind of give your opponent an advantage. Actually goes for Zen Headbutt, and he gets the flinch! Are you kidding me? Oh, once again, Tyler Poke Trainer getting the critical hacks when he needs it. Now, the problem is, if he does it again, he could get a slightly higher roll on the Zen Headbutt and kill the Mega Venusaur. You hate to see it. It is a 20%, of course. Oh, no. And the worst part is, Head Smash actually did more before, so if Zen Headbutt's base 160 and Head Smash is base 225, he gets the low roll, he gets the double, he doesn't. Synthesis comes out. Golden State Greninja staying alive. He's just going for the flinch or the crit. And he doesn't get either. Is now Venusaur feeling a little bit better. So as long as he's not doing it, he's safe against 2 of them that are not crits. So Pidgeot will have to come in. Good drop by Toxic for World Leader. It's not on the Pokemon necessarily wants. He would have loved to get the Poison on Sludge Bomb and take out the Pidgeot, no big deal. But now Electros being the other Pokemon have to come in and take the hit. Pidgeot's being worn down, and this is where Sylveon needs to make its good play. This is where you need really good predictions on what your opponent's going to do. 35% HP can still take a hit or two and get the wish off before it's threatened. Giga Drain does come out predicting the Seismitoad, actually. I kind of like that move, considering, yes, Electros could have gone for the Volt Switch, but maybe he expected the Seismitoad coming in. So World Leader trying to make the reads. Not going to happen. The Drampa is going to be sent to the slaughter. And now Aerodactyl will make its way in on the Incineroar. This is interesting because we haven't seen Earthquake come out of the Aerodactyl yet, so will we see it happen? I think Incineroar is the better move here over Jirachi. Obviously, with the Intimidate support, will make this thing do a lot less damage. Toad will come in to take the damage instead. The Stealth Rock just fired off. That's the first hazards we've seen in 3 games from Golden State Greninjas. And now Mega Venusaur says, hi, you can't do much to me, as the Toxic will do nothing. And Miss, just to basically say, oh yeah, Toad knows not to poison a poison type. What is Miss for good measure? Faking you out. Got him. Incineroar will make its way in. Oh yeah, that's true. He could just use Wing Attack. You're right. But even then, Earthquake actually does more damage. Wing Attack or Aerial Ace boosted up to 90. Yeah, it does 180, whereas Earthquake does 200, so... Either way, it works out for him. The Sludge Bomb drop doing a decent amount of damage to Incineroar. Doesn't get the Poison, though. Poison would be nice just to put more pressure down and make the Wishes feel just that little bit less impactful. Not the biggest deal, but... no worries, Sharking. It is true, though. 3rd to 6th seed doesn't matter. The only tiebreakers you ever need are for 1st, 2nd, and 6th place. Or 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 6th place. If it's between a 3rd and 2nd place seed that are tied, you just need to make the decisions for 1st, 2nd, and 6th. Everything else just gets randomized now to give a true rando feeling to it. Which, you know what? I've been actually liking this season. I think it's better that people don't have to stress over the seeds, because 4th and 5th seed battling each other didn't really matter, and those two are just basically useless at this rate. Ooh, he's actually faster. That's good to know, because that Flare Blitz brought him super low. That means he can Synthesis and say, Flare Blitz me, bro, and you die unless he gets a crit. He just goes for the U-turn. Well played by Lunar Cresselia. Keeping it calm and collect, knows he can get the maximum value. But here's the problem, it's one more hit for Pidgeot unless it's got Roost on it. Do we see it? The Empoleon is the safest play, and is this going to be the end? Don't even see the U-turn come out. He's just going to drop his Final Confusion. That is the end of Pidgeot. World leader feeling good here. A Shaman now coming out. It's not the end for Lunar Cresselia. Still has the Tyrantrum, still has free damage, as we call it. And he actually hits himself with Confusion. Seed Flare drops. Special Defense drop too. That's a big deal for Lunar Cresselia. The hack's trying to keep Lunar Cresselia's dreams alive more than that timeout. And the Earth Power will come in and take him down. So Protect failing him. Didn't even want to go for Protect. That is down. But I mean, the Pokemon that were meant to take the Hurricanes aren't needed per se anymore. Now you need your Mega Venusaur and you need your Electros to keep you alive, while Infernape, maybe mixed Infernape and Aerodactyl in the back, clean house. Infernape is going to make its way in there, so could be using Fire Blast, could be using Flare Blitz. We don't actually know. I think either way, we're just going to roast the Chia Pet. Okay, Chia Seeds for all. A Shaman just is incinerated. And now Tyrantrum will come into his Scarf and will be able to threaten, but the Mega Venusaur says, hi, if you don't head smash, we're good, but he head smashes! And that's the Venusaur down. The wind condition, the tank condition for Golden State Greninjas finally falls. And that might actually be... that actually might be a slight misplay here for Golden State, because those rocks did bring it into range, but, you know, you needed that thing alive, and at the same time, though, if it's Scarfed, I think it just gets infinite value, so rocks are actually going to pull through, and this is the first game where World Leader did not have control over hazards. That could just be the end of the game. Everything has to tank a hit, and that forehead's going to be too painful for all. Lunar Cresselia's in this particular match prove the 1-1. You have to think Game 2 was looking better for World Leader, considering the Tyrantrum was down. Tyrantrum, for once, being the answer we wanted to see. Another head smash flies out. Everything is going to drop as long as he doesn't miss. If he misses head smash and Focus Blast hits, I'm going to be super upset. But... it's just going to be a fine paste made for Lunar Cresselia's, earning their for-fun win. As the Aerodactyl will come in, hope to God it can dodge. He's going to try and fly high enough, but this Dino is huge. Will he clip him on the way up? He misses! The Aerodactyl's alive. The Iron Tail comes. That's actually Iron Tail. That's amazing. The Iron Tail comes through, but it doesn't kill Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum has one more tiny little jump. Big head with tiny arms says, I've got you. Another critical hit. More and more pain for Golden State Greninjas to absorb. One final hit is all he needs, and I don't know how much. If he's got grass on his Infernape, he stands a chance. But this is do or die. He's got to clutch it out and dodge. Is the monkey agile enough? And the answer will be answered for you in just 1 second. Whoa. Wow. Do it for Jimmy Infernape. Nope, he's gone. GG, guys. Oh, man. There you go. Who voted for the 1-1 tie officially? Oh, wait! Nobody did. Ouch. Double ouchies. Congratulations. Sure, I can start paying for you. Yeah, no problem. There you go, everybody. That's it. That's the for fun match. We got there. Thank you very much, everybody, for putting up with all that stuff tonight that happened. No big deal. It was still a great night. We will be back next week. Now, please note the battle day time. It will be a little bit later. I didn't realize I have a dentist appointment next Wednesday at 6, so I don't know how long it's going to be before I get home. It's not too far from home, but just to be safe, we will actually be starting later. Oh, like officially starting later, 7:45 p.m. Eastern time. We started like 8 tonight. We did okay, so we're gonna start later. We have 3 more matches, the final 3 matches. We're gonna see who's gonna be going into the playoffs. We have 4 people who are basically guaranteed in. But next week we've got enormous matches: Fortnite Ninjas versus Traverse City Thunderous, I Am Groot versus Lunar Cresselias, Ice Cold versus Manchester Manetric. Every single match has playoffs implications. It's gonna be a big deal. Also, Extra Life is officially on. In terms of streams this week, there will be one more stream. I don't know when I'm doing it. I'm still kind of in. Actually, let's just put on some different music here, just while we talk about this. So, as I mentioned, guys, I've been a little bit more silent on social media because of mourning for my family. 2 members were lost in the past month. So, the funeral for my grandfather was super beautiful yesterday. He got a believe it or not, because he actually used to be, he was an accordion player. He was in a band that he made with his friend, and he actually got buried next to like a guitarist and a drummer. So all he needed is a bassist, and that's my dad and his 2 brothers. So it's kind of cute, but everything went well with that, so we're basically into Extra Life mode and Pro Pokeball Playoffs mode. But in terms of a schedule, I don't have an official schedule I'm going to come out with yet. I've got a lot of tutoring stuff that I need to organize, as well as figure out what's going on, so we're going to kind of play it by ear. Either tomorrow or Friday, we're going to do a stream. I don't know what we're going to stream. I'm going to kind of hold off on the Nuzlocke and considering I'm going to be playing a lot of Pokemon, especially during Nuzcember, but also there's going to be a lot of Nuzlocking, believe it or not, or just a lot of points locking and stuff like that during Extra Life. So if you guys want to take a look at that, make sure you go and check that out and put on some music. This is some news music. This is a sneak preview on some of the music that's going to be jumping onto the stream soon, so. Yes, absolutely, boss. I'll get you that once. I'm going to go grab my dinner really quickly, and then I'll be down. I got a lot of Extra Life stuff to prepare. But let's take a look at this. Let's actually go through this because I'm super excited. This is going to be such a great Extra Life time for everybody. Of course, we will be hopefully getting together with my friends. I don't know if we have a place yet. Second noob. Hey, newbie. Hey, newbie. Yeah, you. Yeah, no. Yeah, point to me. Come on. Point to me. Come on. Yeah. Keep giving us the things. There, yeah, see? Now point to the face. There we go. Awesome. Let's look at some of the things we're going to be doing with the rando racing. We're going to be having... What? Where are we here? Is this visible on screen? Oh my god, I hate you. Click on the actual event. Alright, let's actually look at the events here. It's not going to be very clean. We're just going to go through this. Snow Bear and I will kick things off Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be doing not only a Super Red race, we'll be doing a post-draft reverse bingo. We'll explain that to you on the day. Pokemon TCG rando race, which is 0 energy, 0 retreat cost. It's a super fast speed run. He was actually doing quite a bit of it before. I did a couple, and they're pretty fun. I'm going to give him just the super leg up on that. Battleship Bingo, which is going to be a great thing that I think everybody will always understand. Super Fire Red Race. Thank you very much to Officer DK for making this Fire Red ROM. We'll be demonstrating it during Extra Life. No testing phase. I trust the man, and we're going to be doing it. So, Super Fire Red Race. Oh, we have to erase Armageddon. But that's going to be all the races. We're going to be going all night. And then once we're done that, ladies and gentlemen, well, what the heck's next? Save. You're right. What's after that? Phantasy Stars, Zonic, and myself come together for an Alpha Sapphire Points Lock. One of the few and only times you'll probably see me do Points Lock beyond Gen 5, but we're going to be doing a Gen 6 Points Lock versus, and as well as we're going to do it across Gen race. Your donations, there will be milestone donations for you. You can make that go from a 3-Gen race to a 5-Gen race. You can add Platinum. We're going to be doing Super Red, Crystal, and Emerald. but now you can make it a platinum and a white added onto that race. If you want to see that, it's only $20 in total of everyone's donations, but you'll get a better idea of that. And after that, your donations will also be working towards the next speedrun, which we're going to be doing, Stardew Valley with Raspberry Blitz. Race to the bottom of the mine, 120 floors of pure mining power. Her and I have set up a great system, and what can you do to make it worse for us? Feats of strength, where we will be doing random events if you guys donate during that event. And if you guys raise enough money, you can make it a pacifist mine percent, which means we are not allowed to ever attack a monster going to the bottom. Sorry, we're not going to the bottom of the mine. The only time we can attack is during the monster rooms. We can't attack a single monster with any weapon or tool going throughout it. If we do, we're not going to be super annoyed at it. Hey, bad news. Good to see you, man. How you doing, man? Man. There you go, see? Your name should just be Man News Nate. But yeah, we're just going over Extra Life stuff right now. ProPokeBowl just ended, so. But yeah, if you guys want to see a pacifist mine percent, get your donations in. But Noob, can it get any better? Well, the answer is always. We always make things better. Why wouldn't we? Because Amagama returns for a PvP marathon. We'll be playing Pokemon Showdown Randos, the Showdown Tennis, as I'm going to be calling it. And then we're going to be bringing out a chat interactive thing, Scriblio, with viewers. And if you guys donate enough, not only will we be doing the Golf with Your Friends Wacky Ball World Tour, but Amagama will shave his face live on camera. And he's already gotten a haircut, which means the man's going to be super babyface, super short hair. He's going to look incredibly goofy, but he's already accepted it. And he suggested it himself. It's not torture, because he's the one who said it. So make sure you guys get that going in there. But Gamma will be in the marathon, bringing it up with a good old friend of ours, Zelda Multi-World Co-op Randomizer with Fedora Gaming, where your donations can actually make it a pot sanity, which means items can be hidden in pots instead of just in chests, as well as key sanity, where the keys for the dungeons will be randomized. That's a bigger donation goal, but you guys will all see it. It's gonna be super great. Fedora will be raging hard, and that's why we want to do it, for the kids. And ending off our 6 marathon will be Jet Punch and I doing a Pokemon Crystal Soul Link. If you guys haven't seen Soul Lock on this channel, it is super incredibly fun. We've never actually done an official one where we're going to try and complete, but the way that you guys can influence this is jumble or kill off pairings. You guys want to stop us from winning. We're going to try our best to win. He's never done any type of Nuzlocking or any type of Soul Link for that matter, so it's going to be a brand new experience for him. And it's going to be super great. You guys can be raising towards another great event, Team Pocket Ace's Pixelmon events. We're going to be doing a bunch of hunting contests, catching contests, and we're going to be having some celebrations at the Extra Life 2019 hub. Marie X Lupin has built a phenomenal hub for you guys to go put up signs. I want to hang up as many signs as we can for fantastic messages to the kids. If you guys hang up a sign and show me a screenshot of you putting up the sign yourself, I will donate $1 to Extra Life for every sign put on the wall in the hub, up to $30. But the more signs that we can get, the more positive messages. You can put your name, you can put an awesome message to the kids. I think it'd be super cool to show off after the event to see how many people can leave such inspiring messages to the kids that we are trying to support. And on top of that, if we raise enough money, temporary for 1 whole month, the community can tell us what rare Pokemon they want to spawn right in the spawn point, and you guys can farm shinies like that. It's going to be completely open. We'll change the spawner for you guys. You guys are getting bored with catching. You want to complete your Pokedex. This is the time to get the money in. And that's just the pre-marathon, the official marathon coming November 1st to 3rd. 3 days of non-stop gaming with not only these 6 people that you're seeing here, but other people from Team Pocket Aces and the such. Mr. Oh my god, Boros! Boros! Buddy! How's the military going? Thank you much for the 20-month resubscription. That is a milestone subscription for you to put a new name or trainer class into future Nuzlocke runs. How are you doing? Good to see you, man. Welcome back. Hopefully your transition has been fantastic into the military. But yeah, you gotta give me that name or trainer class before you go, because 20 months, man. Every 4 you do it. Embrace the face. Let me give you some faces. Booyah. It's weird. The emotes don't show up. I guess it's just a react and click, so. Yeah, that's Extra Life. It's going to be exciting. I'm sweating just thinking about how much I have to get prepared tonight, tomorrow. Oh, man. Snowbear, if you're around. Also, if Raz, if you're still listening, and Gamma, he's dying of illness, so we gotta go help him with that. Airman, done. Airman is a trainer class. Thank you very much for that support, dude. I hope you're having a great time. Hopefully your service is serving everything that you wanted to get from it and more. Yeah. Still around? Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna eat dinner. I'm gonna help boss, and then can we talk after that before you have to go do your own stuff? Ooh, you got a new laptop. Awesome, man. Also, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be wearing ties during the ProPokeBowl playoffs. Also, whoa. One more thing. For those of you who are looking to be in the playoffs, which is basically everybody but Coma right now, next week, stay around, please, because I have to explain the process. I'll also put it on Discord and in your emails. But know that after next week's battles, we are going to have to vote really quickly, because we need to know when the playoffs are going to be happening. I don't want it going into December. I don't want it going into Extra Life, per se, even though it will be in between. But we need to decide the days, because my days are actually quite restricted when it comes to work and all that stuff. So times will be a little tight, but I need to know when everyone's going to be free. So we're going to work with that, and we're going to explain the process, because the playoffs are also slightly different this year. So for those of you who have been in ProPokeBowl before, you got to know that the eliminations and the semis are a little bit different in terms of its formatting, and we'll explain everything that can be done for the viewers as well as the coaches. So make sure you show up for that. But first, we'll have a stream before Saturday, and then Saturday is Extra Life Day. I hope you guys can show up. For those of you going to TwitchCon, if I don't see you, enjoy TwitchCon. I'm going to be doing what people are apparently calling DitchCon, where they just stay home and farm viewers from those who are gone, which does not happen. Don't think that's going to happen. I'm still doing it anyways. But the point is, we'll see you guys on the next stream. Thank you very much for coming out. GG to all the coaches tonight. And let's look forward to an awesome playoffs and an awesome Extra Life start. Take care, everybody. And let's go find somebody to host. It's my first day. I forgot how to do this. Who do we got? Whew. Hey, Taylor is here, is back. Let's go host this, man. This guy usually is hosting me, but I don't think he is going anywhere anytime soon. Or if he is, he's going somewhere soon, so we gotta kind of hit him up and get in there. Taylor he is a marketing, he's gone. See, there it is, yep. Already gone. I figured as much. It was 10 o'clock. I'm like, okay. What is she playing? Oh, we got the Boiks. We don't get to host the Boiks much either. Let's go host the Boiks. He's also an awesome guy. He is doing an Untitled Goose Game, any percent glitchless speedrun. It's his first time doing it, so make sure you go check him out. And this game has been taking everybody by storm, so that's super cool. You're basically a goose and you're an asshole, so go watch him being an asshole digitally. Thank you very much for coming out, guys. Take care, and peace.